Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a fun looking puzzle in front of us. The setter here, Zibl, I hope I said that correctly or whatever, or pronouncing it correctly, I should say. Um, they have this, what is it, a series of puzzles they've done about essentially like, I guess, a life in the day of Zibl. So this is one of them that I saw that looked really interesting. I figured I'd give it a try. Now, I think there's like 6 or 7 or something like that of these at the moment. Haven't looked at most of them yet, but I don't know if I'm going to dive into it like it's a series, but I might look at a couple of them here and there, depending on how this video goes. We'll determine that probably. So let's just dive into this thing and see what happens. So it's called Taking the Bus by Zibl. And we've got a little blurb here. So it's so foggy outside that everything is turned grayscale. Can you help Zibl find the right bus line? He's supposed to be on the purple line. Renban. So it looks like these guys are all going to be different lines. But because of the fog, you can't differentiate color. So what are the rules? We've got Kropki. So digits separated by a white Kropki dot are consecutive. These two. Digits separated by a black Kropki dot are 1:2 ratio. These two. I.e. one digit is double the other, also on the black. We've got quadruples, so cells surrounding a large white circle must contain the digits in the circle. So here we have a 2, 4, and a 7, so the 2, 4, and 7 must appear in these 4 cells. Now the special constraint, there is one of each of the following lines in the grid. It's up to the solver to determine which one is which. So it looks like we've got Renban, Thermo, German Whisper, Region Sum Line, and Dutch Whisper. I'll go through those. Renban, I'll just use this as the example, whether or not it can work for all these, but just to keep it over here. Digits along a line, a Renban line form a consecutive non-repeating set in any order. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Thermo, digits along a thermometer increase from the bulb end, and the bulb is in row 7. Okay, so a little bit of a help there that whichever one of these is the thermo, the bulb will be down this side. So this would be the bulb, this would be the tip, this would be the lowest digit, and they would increase in some manner till they got to the highest digit. German Whisper, adjacent digits along a German Whisper line must differ by at least 5. So if whatever this one is, this one will be 5 away from it, this one 5 away from that. If, of course, this is the German Whisper line. Region sum line. Box borders divide the region sum line into segments, which all sum to the same total. So these 3, if this was the region sum line, would have a value that they add up to. These 3, because they're in a different region, will add up to that same value that these 2 did. Then a Dutch Whisper. So adjacent digits along a Dutch Whisper line must differ by at least 4. So if this was the Dutch Whisper, whatever this one is, this one have to at least be 4 away from it. And those are all the rules. So it's going to be fun to try to figure out which one is which. We probably can make some determinations fairly quickly, but it might take a little bit of work or elbow grease to get the rest of them figured. So with that said, let's do that. Links in the description below. Let's have some fun. All right. So do we want to start thinking about these lines, or do we want to start thinking about our quadruples first? I think we're going to go quadruples, because you can see there are some things we can say about some of these. Oh, actually, there has to be a 4 in one of these 4 cells. There has to be a 4 in one of these 4. Well, it has to be the overlap. Same is going to be true here for the 3. Same is true here for the 2. Good. Now we can say one of these is a 3. One of these is a 2. 4s and 5s, we don't, well, one of these is a 4. We do know that. One of those would be a 5. One of these is a 4 as well. And then one of those. Well, what I started looking at was the 3 here, because we have an X-wing on 3s. None of these could be 3s, so one of these is. None of these are 3s, so one of these is. I'm trying to get some options put in here so that we can have some way to start differentiating the lines. But once I run out of possibilities, then I'll have to work on figuring these guys out. Well, I guess we can say that this cannot be from the 3, 6, because we've determined that there can't be a 3 in either one. So 1, 2, 4, or 8. Now this one can't be a 4 or a 2, so it is a 1 or an 8, which means this is a 2 or a 4. That's something, I guess. Anything else? 4s, push one over to here. 2s are also pushed over here because of the same reason. I think that might, oh, the 3s, oh wait, we can do the 3s here. This is just a 3 because we have these guys looking at each other. So this one here is our 3. And we have the 7s as well, so we can put the 7 here. Then we can say these are the 2 and the 4, which gives us a 2, 4, and it says we can put a 4 down here. Perfect. Now, that says this is 2, and these have to be 3, 4, and 7. These can't be 4s, so this is. That means this is the 4. And then what? One of these is a 4. Again, I'm trying to get as much as I can that's easy onto these lines so that we can have something to work with. There probably is stuff we can already do, but I'm trying to make the load a little bit less here once we actually get into it. 4. This actually can't be a 4. Because this would have to either be a 2 or a 3. It can't. Am I now to the point where I'm going to start to look at trying to differentiate these? I think I am. Okay. So one of these is a 3. Which means one of those was a 3. Again, not really doing a whole lot, but it's something there. Okay. Let's put a 2. Each time I say let's move on, I find something else. One of these will be a 2 and it's not you. Now, let's move on. Let's try to figure out if we can decipher these guys. So one of them's going to be a Renban. I don't think there's any way to... Only way we could remove Renban is if we found a repeat, but at this point we don't have those. What about thermos? This is not a thermo. This is not a thermo, because if you'd have to do 2, 4, and this would be a 1, but you can never even get to the 2, because again, the thermo starts down here. I guess this one and this one and this one all could be thermo, because that could be a 1, 2, 3, and then whatever it wants to do. This could be 1, 2, 4, and then whatever it wants to do. This is actually a 3, 7 too. Oop, I didn't mean to put it in that one. 3, 7. That doesn't rule out this as being a thermo. It would just mean that this would be the 7. Then 8, 9 would work just fine. This would probably just be a 1, 2 or something like that. So that's not doing anything for us. Let's move on to German Whisper. Well, German Whisper can never have a black Kropki on it, so these are not German Whisper. These guys line up. This can never be a German Whisper because we can't put a 4 midway along on a straight line. So one of these two is the German Whisper. One of these two. Can we figure that out as to which one is which? I don't think we can. Not enough information, I don't think, at this point. Because if this is the German Whisper, this is a 9. We go low, high, or low, we go back to high and low. If this was, we don't have any real inkling of what's going on. Okay, let's try something else. Region sum line. Okay. This can never be a region sum. So I guess we know this one's not region sum. It's not it's not thermo. Maybe that's all we really know about it. Okay. Let's go back to it. You're not region sum. You could be. Well, maybe you can't, because let's think about what's going on up here. For this to be a single digit, this obviously couldn't be an 8. So it would be a 1, 2, and this would be a 4. So that's 5 right there. No, this can't be region sum, because then what do you put here? You've used the 1, you've used the 4, the 3 and the 2 are here, so this would have to be that'd be 10 total minimum. So not region sum, not region sum. Can we rule out U? It would have to be a high digit, either the 6 or the 8. It could be either, because we can put a 6 on there. That doesn't rule it out. So, well, it can't be a 6, because you'd have to put a 3 here. It can't. So it would have to be an 8. Can we rule that out in any way? If it's an 8, this is a... no, that doesn't work. Because, yeah, if this is an 8, this has to be a 4. Well, what do you put in these two? It would have to be a 1, 3. Again, we can't put a 3 over here. Not region sum, not region sum, not region sum. One of these two is. I'm going to mark these in some way where the option could be either. And let's continue to see if we can resolve what they could be. Now, if your region sum, you're going to be a high digit, because again, you have 3. It can't be 6, because you can't do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It can't be 7. It could be, it can't be 8 or 9, because of this. This is an 8-9 pair. This is not region sum. Okay, we finally have one of these things figured out. Good. This is a high digit, can't be 6 or 7, so it's 8 or 9. Get an 8-9 pair there. That's nice. Does that say that this one is now the German whisper, right? Because this one can't be, this one can't be, this one's already taken, and this one can't be. Yeah, this is the German whisper. Let's put a little green circle there. And if that's the case, this is a 9. This is the 7 and the 3. This has to be a 1 for the 7. This has to be a 1 or a 3. And then this has to be a 7, 8, or 9. Okay. So we got 2 of them in quick succession now. That's good. Now we said you can't be thermo, you could. We can't rule out Dutch whispers like we could the German. Oh wait, the 9 says this is 8 and 9. Let's put those in while we're here. That's going to then say this is 8. Okay, now we can go on to here. I'll come back to that Dutch whisper thought in a second. This is 1, 3, 4. Which means this is 4. Good. It's more info to be able to pump into this to see if we can differentiate them. And what else did that say for us? Anything? These have to be a 1, 2, 5. There's only 2 ways to make 8. 1, 2, 5 and 1, 3, 4. We've already used the 1, 3, 4 and looking at both of these. There's also a 3 and a 4 over here. So this is 1, 2, 5. These are not 1s. This is. This then is the 5 and this is the 2. Perfect. 2, 4, 1, 5. What are these digits? Oh, the 2 now just goes here. Let's put that in. And one of these will be one of those over there, one of those over here, one of those, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what are these 3 digits? Anything useful? One of them's going to be a 7 right here. And the other 2 are 6 and 9. 6 can't go down here, so it goes up here. So this is a 7, 9 pair. Good. What are these 2? Because we might get some more information where we can, well, we've ruled thermo out from here now. So this is going to be our thermo. But let's finish the train of thought. These are 8 and 9 as well. So we'll stick to that. Okay. One of these 3 is thermo. We said this one can't be because this will never work. 4, 3, 2, 1 could, but 8 and then what? Nothing. This can't be thermo because of a 4 on the back end of it. You are our thermo. So we'll put a gray circle there. And then these two are still between our Renban and our Dutch whisper. Let's think of this as thermo. This has to be a 2 because we can't put the 2 here and put the 4 behind it. Can't put the 2 here and put the 4 behind it. That's a 2, which then forces the 4. Go away. Don't like you. You're not a 2. You're not a 4. 1-3 pair says you're not a 3 as well. But that's neither here nor there. This has to be a 1. 5, 6. This just has to be 5, 6, 8, 9 because we have this 7 here. No other way to make that work. 5, 6, 8, 9. This is a 5. That's 8 and 9. This is a given of 6. This is a given 5. These are 1, 8, and 9. Again, 1, 8, 9. Thank you very much. Okay. What about you 3 before we start looking at these other lines again? We need a 1, 3, and 6. This can't be 3, so one of you two are. Yeah, these could be... Oh, this one can't be 1, so this is a 1-3 pair. Okay. Let's get those in, which means this is that 6. Good. What are you 3? 3, 5, and 7. This is the 5. This is the 3. This is the 7. 9, 7. I'm just going to keep going on if I can keep getting information here. So this is 6, 7, 8. What are you guys? We need a 1. No, we need a 8 and a 9. So this is the 8, 9. This is the 1. What about you guys? We need the 1 again. So it's in one of those 2. We need the 5. It could be here or here. The 6 could be here or here. So this is a 5, 6 pair. This is our 1. Good. This one can't be the... No. I was going to say it can't be the 6, but I'm wrong in that. And it could be the... Yeah, I don't think we can rule those out. Okay. This is not a 1. All right. Let's do one little last gasp of figuring out something if we can. We know there's a 2 over here. We know there's a 3 over here. We can't determine yet the 5 or the 6. One of these is a 7. So this is actually a 2, 7 pair. This is a 5 or a 6. 2, 4, 1, 8. Okay, no. All right, now, Renban and Dutch Whisper. Can we determine which one is which? This could still be Dutch Whisper. This one could still be Dutch Whisper. 6 to the 2. This would have to be the 8 and then back to the 4. That would all work. This would be a 3. No, this can't be Dutch Whisper because these are consecutive. So this is our Renban. We'll make it purple. And Dutch Whisper is orange. All right, now we can go through these. The Dutch Whisper says this is 2, which means this is 4. We said this had to go to 8 and back down to 4, so 9 and 1. This has to go back up to either 8 or 9. Get an 8, 9 pair. This is 7. That's going to tell us our German Whisper 1 and 3, and 3 and not 3. So actually this is just 1 and 4. That 3 says this is 3. And when I meant that 3, I didn't mean to click on that one. Okay. And could be with the 2. 7 could be with the 6. Okay, we know what this Renban is because it has a 9 on it. So it's going to have an 8 in one of these two. It has to have a 7, which could be one of those 3. It needs a 6. Could be multiple. Well, this one can't be 6, but this guy and this guy and this guy can be, so those are where the 6 goes. This actually can't be an 8. Let's do that first because we can't put a 4 here. So this is our 8. That means this is 7 and 3. We have to put a 3 on this guy, right? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So that is 3. One of those is the 6. The other is the 5. Okay, so this is a 5, 6. This is the 2. If we go back to our markings, what are you guys, 7 and 9? We can do that. 7, 9. This is a given now. Oh, not a given, it's a 5, 6 to finish the pair. The Dutch Whisper. Oh, this could still be a 5 because this could be a 1. Actually, no matter what this is a 1 because a 5 can only go with 1 or 9. It can't be 9. 6 can only go with 1 or 2. Can't be a 2. So it's 1. The 8 actually can just resolve this stuff right away. This is 9. Good. Okay, so now we have 1, 9, 4, 8, 2, 6. That all works. 3, 5, 6, 8, 7, 9, 4 all works. These guys are all adding to 8. That works. This is a thermo. That works. Okay, so we must be Sudokufied now in finalizing. This is not 7. This is not... Oh, it's not 8 or 7, so it is the 6. 8, 7. This is a given of 2. Yep, so 7, 2. This is now a given of 8. This guy is 5 or 6. This guy is 5 or 6. So how do we... Oh, the 3 here. I was going to say, how do we differentiate? This is the 6. This is the 5. 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. There we go. So it was the 4th line. It was. Zibl should have known. He's taken the same bus almost every day since forever. And it's always been that one line. Guess he just wanted some company while waiting. Not a problem. I enjoyed the company. Thank you for your help. You are welcome. So, what only says 200 solves in 26 days. I wonder if this was probably made off-site, and then since then has some solves. But really fun puzzle. I really enjoyed that one, and I liked having to be able to try to determine which one was which, using bits of logic here and there to remove options when they wouldn't work. So cool. Very fun puzzle. Hope you all enjoyed that one, and maybe we'll be taking on some more of Zibl's adventure of their day. So we'll see you next one. Thanks a lot.